Hey guys, it's Rose from Rewritten Vintage Journals, and I'm so excited to share with you my new journal. So this journal was created here at my house, and then we took it, me and the girls took it to Mahone Bay. And so I think I might name it Beached in Mahone Bay, because there was a little beach there. That's where we threw it in. And when I was walking backwards, when we were walking backwards, I tripped and fell over a rock, which is so funny because the last time I did the Castaway Journal, I tripped and fell into the waterfall pool. So this time I tripped and fell again. So it was quite interesting. So 107 kilometers across the province to dunk her into Mahone Bay. So let's get into it. This is an old book. It seems to have held up more than the Castaway journal did. So this here piece of cardboard was, I wrapped something in it, and it of course fell apart, or it was a piece of page that fell apart, and it just looked, it had a line there, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to draw a sailboat there, because, you know, in Mahone Bay, they're known for their heritage, or the culture is, you know, shipbuilding. So here's some sand that I try to gather some, you know, some authentic things when I'm doing these journals. And so I created this Mahone Bay road trip, 107 kilometers. And so this is where I'm at. Hope you can see this. I'm at here, and we drove all the way across the province to Mahone Bay. So Mahone Bay is a town on the northwest shore of Mahone Bay along this... What? Okay. Is a town on the northwest shore of Mahone Bay along the south shore of Nova Scotia. That's better. In Lunenburg County. A long-standing picturesque tourism destination, particularly known for the iconic The Three Churches landmark and its charming walkable streets lined with shops and galleries. Mahone Bay boasts a rich history in shipbuilding. And then here is the Three Churches. They actually had the street, they had that street closed down. I think it's Edgewater Street, because they're replacing the sewer line. So I had to park up in here and then walk along there, up here to get a picture. I always take a picture there. And I think over here is where we threw it in, down here some. So all of the rust, all of the paper clips, all the metal rusted, of course, because it's salt water. And I just love how these journals show up and turn out in salt water. It really does make a difference. And here is a vintage picture with the road, and that's why I decided on the road trip. Some authentic Mahone Bay ephemera, and here's impressions. So before I left, I put some rusty metal in here. I put some plant material in here, and I threw some coffee in between the pages. The is it cochineal bug, which made all the pink. I threw that in there as well, and then let the salt water do its magic, and it did. Here's a vintage picture of some sailboats, and that is the yacht races, La Have River, 1968, and La Have River is very close to Mahone Bay. Here's a poem on birch trees. It's my favorite. It's my favorite tree, so I had to use it. All of, like I said, the metal rusted. This is ledger paper that really faded, like all the lines faded because of the water. Or the dye run. Some authentic ephemera from Mahone Bay. 1800s ledger paper. And here's some more rusty impressions. That was an old hinge, and then there are some plant material there. So 3 signatures. I'll do a page count when I'm finished, when I post it for sale. Here's a rusty nail, and I really love, look, it went through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 impressions. I just love it. All different kinds of paper. There's watercolor paper here. There's sketch paper. There is, this is like meat wrapping paper. Music paper. All different kinds of textures, weights. Regular computer paper. And hopefully you can see that. So there are some birds there, and they look like seagulls in the sunset. So I found this beautiful quote, "Between two seas, the seabird's wings makes halt. Wind weary while with lifting head he waits, for breath to re-inspire him from the gates that open still toward sunlight on the vault, high domed of morning." So I just thought that that was perfect. And then there is the other part of that glassine bag, and then I just made that into a tuck, and you can make a little, and there's a little pocket that you could put something in there as well. In here, or down here, so there's some silk. "May you always have a shell in your pocket and sand between your toes." So I thought that was just perfect for this journal. Beautiful impressions, just beautiful. And this here is an authentic postcard with writing on the back, rusty paper clip. Just beautiful impressions. That's from my smoke bush, purple smoke bush. And some more vintage ephemera from Mahone Bay. And what I really like about these journals, that when I throw them in the water, is that it's light enough that you can see the impressions, but it's still, you can still write over them to journal, and that is the whole purpose. This was a metal rod, and what I do is I string them together and I drape them over like this page and then this page. Close it up and throw it in, and that's how you get all these nice impressions. The blue are blueberries, so I throw some blueberries in there, and I just love how it comes out. The salt water really does its magic. Really, don't know, really works. This is from Mahone Bay, Bank of Montreal. Some old paper bags, purple smoke bush again. You can still write beautifully. Black pen is just, these are oak. There's a key, the rusty key I threw in there. And this is just unbelievable. So there is the big paper clip. Here's the second impression. There's another impression. Like, look at it. And there's the actual rusty paper clip. It just keeps going. This is a vintage paper of two ladies, or a photo of two ladies overlooking something or other. Some more Queen Anne's lace. More rust. There's a rusty flower I always put in. I just love it. Some more authentic Mahone Bay. And this is from a... I would say it is wood. 2 logs, 8 feet long, 5 inches top. So this here is a beautiful painting, watercolor. And here's some more Bank of Montreal, some authentic ephemera from Mahone Bay. And this here is like a rusty can I've kept, like the bottom of a rusty can. I just love. And some blueberries and some flowers. And I just can't. The impression, like, look at it. I just love it. Yeah, that's the blueberry. That's the piece of the blueberry bush. Low bush blueberries, and I just snapped it off when I was walking. Stuck it in there, and look at it. Like, I just can't. It's the black that I really love. And like the transfer is just beautiful. And this is, this was something or other. And then it just like, it dyed through the backside of this and this. It's just unbelievable. It's just unbelievable how this comes out when you throw it in salt water. And that there's an old square nail. Some leaves. It's, see, and then you see the different types of paper. This is like watercolor paper or multimedia paper. These are irises or lilies, daylilies for my garden. And I put this in because along the boardwalk or the waterfront there, they have wild roses. I just love this. That is my husband's favorite tree, the Japanese maple, and that can, another piece of the can. And then the bug, the cochineal bugs. It's just, actually it's a big washer. And here's another, this is a beach picture. And it rusted, really rusted that paper clip. And some more ephemera. Here's some of that music. And it's just like the impressions are just gorgeous. And here's a little 20 piece of driftwood that I gathered at the beach where I threw it in. And that is an envelope that you can put stuff in. And another piece, this is from Mahone Bay Shipbuilding Co. Limited. February 10th, doesn't have a date on it. Maybe it's 1947. And then the different wood spruce, which is pretty neat. And that's it. So, yep, 3 signatures. There's the back. Here's the front. I used the old rose because of the rose bushes on the edges of the boardwalk, or it's probably not called a boardwalk, but the water's edge there. And so there you have it. So I'm going to call it Beached in Mahone Bay. And it will be listed in my Etsy shop, and it will be for sale. And I hope you guys like it. Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye.